Tinker time! All right, let's get started. First piece we're going to grab is a cylinder, and we'll select that and bring it out to the center. Now the dimensions that we want to have here are 45 by 45 by 60 millimeters. So we'll go ahead and change this to 45, and then 45, and now for the height we're going to go with 60 millimeters. Okay, 60. All right, 45 by 45 by 60. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and put sides to max. Okay. And what that does is that's going to make a smooth texture on here. As you notice, if the sides is reduced, then you can tell that it has more of a rigid look. So we're going to increase that back up. The bevel, we're going to take this all the way. Now segments is going to round this off for us. So we're going to take that and increase it all the way. Gives us a nice rounded look. And that's on the top and the bottom. All right. What we're going to do is slice this into two pieces. So we'll select the item, and then we're going to hit Command D or Control D. Okay, and we're going to move that into a second piece here. Now we'll grab a box to select the parts that we're going to cut out, and we're going to use this as our subtraction tool. Okay. Now we want our lid to be probably about that. That looks about right. So maybe a 70-30 there. So we're going to go ahead and make sure that this cutout piece completely covers that object. Okay. Now what we'll do to make this piece over here match, because out of this piece we're going to make the body, and this is going to be our lid. So we'll see how tall this piece is. It's 42 millimeters tall. So we're going to duplicate this cutout block. Okay. And then we're going to take this and raise it up, but we're going to go over here and then put in 42. Now we know that these will match once we cut them out. So we'll take these and we'll combine these two pieces. That's our body, our main section. Then we're going to combine these two pieces, and this will be our lid. Next, we're going to make the threads. We'll go over here where you see basic shapes. We're going to go down here to shape generators. Okay. And then we're looking for this threaded piece here. Okay, you'll see that. It's a little gray threaded piece. Okay. For segments, okay, we see segments. That's going to be 32. Okay, 32. All right. And then our diameter, that's going to be 40.14. Right there. Okay. Rotations is going to be 7. 7 for rotations. Thread scale is 1.0. So it's set to 1. Okay. And the overall height is going to be 13.56 inches. Okay. 13.56. Okay. Tip segments will push up to 10 here. Okay. All right. And then for pitch, that's going to be 1.75 right there. There we go. All right, so we've got our diameter, our pitch, our segments, our rotation, tip scale. We're just going to leave that where it is. Okay, and then pitch is 1.75. So that should be everything we need right there. Okay, and then we're going to take this and put it back to 13.56. 13.56. There we go. Now we have our threads. Now we're going to take this piece and we're going to spin it over 180 degrees. Okay. Now we'll click on our thread piece and we're going to go over here to our cruise icon and we're going to select that white dot and we're going to slip it right here on the top. There we go. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we'll align those. Okay. Now what we want is this to have about 3 threads sticking out here. Okay. So we're going to hold Command or Control. Okay. Oops. And we're going to go down to your snap grid and we'll change that to 0.1 millimeters so we can have finer control here. And then we'll go up till we see 3. All right, there we go. It gives us about 3. Okay, we'll go up a little further. There we go. There. Now we're going to combine these. Okay, make that 1. And now what we're going to do is use this to make the thread cutout in the main body piece. So what we'll do is we'll hit that, and then we'll do Command D or Control D for a duplicate. We'll move that over. Now here's the trick. With 3D printing, there's some shrinkage after you print, after it cools off. So we're going to account for that. So to make this lid fit perfectly in the main body piece, the way to do that is we'll take this and increase everything by 1 millimeter. So we'll do 46. This one is 46. And this one is going to be 24.46. 24.46. Okay? Now, we'll take this and we're going to flip it over 180 degrees. Okay? We're going to take these two pieces and we're going to align them. So, align, okay? And now what we're going to do is click on that top piece and make it a hole for a cutout. Okay? Now what we're going to do is drop this piece down. As you can see, we're going into it here. It's going to make those thread cutouts, but you only want to go down until you see the dark line show up right here. So as we go there, that's it. That's as far as you want to go. Okay? All right. Perfect. Now we're going to just double check for alignment, and it looks like it's still aligned. So now we're going to combine these. Boom. Okay, awesome. All right, next we need to hollow out these two pieces. So we'll go back up here to basic shapes, and we're going to grab one of these cylinder pieces. Now we're going to make this 32 by 8 millimeters. Okay, so we're going to change this to 32.8. 32.80. Okay, 32.80. Okay. All right. Very good. Now, this is we're going to do is bring this up a little taller here. Okay. Now, we're going to center this. Okay. So, we'll align it. Okay. That looks good. Okay. Now, we're going to just click on that. Before we combine those, we are going to duplicate that, and we're going to bring it out here to the side. And for the lid cutout, this one is going to be 28.5 millimeters. So 28.50. Okay. 28.50. Okay. Now, we'll click on that, and then we'll hit the cruise icon. Grab that little white dot, and we're going to put it right up here on top. Okay. Now, we'll align these two pieces to make sure it's in the center perfectly. Okay. And now, so we can get a visual of how deep that goes, we're going to go like this. We'll click on the cutout, make it a solid. Then we'll click on the main top piece here, and we'll make that a cutout. So then we'll take this piece, and we'll drop it down. Okay. And we want it to go, I'd say, probably about that far into the lid. That looks good. We'll turn this back into a hole, and we'll take the lid piece and turn it back into a solid. Okay, and then we're going to combine these two pieces. Okay, now we have our cutout for our lid. Okay, now this is the same idea. Obviously, we wouldn't want it to go all the way to the bottom. That would ruin it. So we're going to make that a solid. And then the outer piece, we'll make that a hole. Now we can see. Click on the inner piece, and then we're going to bring it up till we can see, I'd say right about there. Okay, we want it to have some depth, but obviously not go too far down. We don't want it to be weak. So we'll click on the outer piece, make that a solid again. We'll click on the cutout piece now, and then we will combine. All right. Now we have the jar hollowed out, and we have the lid hollowed out, and we are going to take this and move it to the build plate. We want to make sure that everything is flat on the build plate before you go to print this. Okay, we're going to make sure that this one is, and you can just move that just to double check both of those are on. All right, well, there we have it. We have a threaded lid that will thread into this. The next step is to print it and see if it works. Let's check it out. All right, it looks like this print turned out pretty well. The threads go in nice and easy, and the lid screws on pretty tight. Thanks for watching today, and if this video helped you out, please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Tinker Time.